Alright, part 3 of showing you guys how I figured this matrix out and to show you guys the craziness of all of this. Okay, so you can see that this is from the Pueblo library, and this is of Pueblo in 1873. Now, if you look here, it says that it's of Santa Fe and Second. So I want to show you where Santa Fe and Second are on the maps. So we'll go into my trusty maps here, the one of 1900. We're going to zoom down, and we're going to go to 2nd Street in Santa Fe, which would be right here. Okay, so if you look at the view and you look back across the river, you'll see Union Street. Okay, so I found a better picture of this, and I had to do a lot of research to find these. And what I found out, the more authentic ones were the ones with this like curve at the top. And this must have been on the lenses. A lot of earlier photos were like this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so these are the earliest ones I could find of Pueblo. And you can see the curve at the top. And these are taken pretty good. I mean, you can see here. Now, here's one of the weird things. In the other ones, I haven't pointed this out, but this church right here, and then this tree in front of it, but you can see there's a building here, and I don't know why the photograph didn't pick it up. And so I have this other one right here. Now these are the oldest ones I can find on the Marnard tree. Now it was cut down in 1883, circumference of 29 feet and at a height of 88 feet tall. So it was the largest cottonwood tree. I think I read somewhere it was the largest cottonwood tree in Colorado at the time. So now that you've seen what I'm talking about with the curvature, and then I found this really old one, supposed to be of Pueblo, and you can go and see the brick buildings and the wood, and you can see this wagon train that they have, and you can see that it's an oval shot picture. So the earlier development of cameras could have been this. And what I'm trying to tell you is we did have a great reset, and if you keep following me down these and watch all of these and put all this together, you're going to see the most impossible build ever. Okay, so this is Union Street, and then this is Santa Fe. So when I was looking at this photograph, I blew it up and I started really looking at it, and you could see the river is right here on this backside, and I'll draw it out for us. You can see the river right here. And then this right here is that cottonwood tree. And so this is a very good photo. This shows you like so early development in 1873. Let's clear that out, and I'll back this out. And so what I've tried to remind myself every time I do one of these, I want to tell you guys, if you go into my Google Drive, it's always, I have it in the link. If you go into Colorado State, and you go down to Pueblo, oh, this is Pueblo. And if you go to earlier pictures, like I'm trying to clean this up as best I can, because at first I was trying to just prove it to myself, and I tried to get as many photographs as I could and just download them to put it all together. And when you guys are finished with all of these, when I show you the craziness of all of this, you're going to see what I'm talking about. And then there's those two pictures. So one of the other things that was a huge help is these Sunborn maps. These things were a godsend because it allowed me to find everything that they did. So if you go into these maps, and you can see right here, we're going to go to section 7. Right. Yeah, this site's been really acting weird lately. and it shows the smelting plant. And so one of the things that I looked up was how many smelting plants did Colorado have, or Pueblo, Colorado have? Okay, 5 smelting plants in Pueblo, Colorado. And so from 1873, they built the largest steel mill. They had the smelting capital of the world. And I know I've gone over this in my other videos, but you have to understand when you put this whole thing together, you're going to realize that we've been lied to about our complete history. And so if you go into these maps and you really look at the size and scale of what I'm trying to tell you, how big this is, and the impossible build that they did is, and you can't comprehend it. Because you have to look at this and think about all the train tracks and switching gear that they had just for the train track layout. And then the city blocks are all laid out and they're already built on, all within 20 years. And if you really zoom down, this right here is where people's houses are. And if you go through the Sunborn maps, you can look at the houses that are there, and the outline of the houses are pretty accurate to detail, and then you can match them up with Google Earth. I mean, it's the craziest thing ever. All of these switching gears in lane for this massive undertaking of within 20 years to go from a town like this to this. This is on the same spot. They like to take the same pictures, which helped me tremendously to make all of this puzzle work. And if you go in, this is of Santa Fe, and it's in 1881, and this is 2nd Street in Santa Fe. And if you look back here in the background, we'll zoom that out. Okay, you can see CF&I in the background with smelting plants is where those were all at. And then right over here is where the river is. And then you could see on the back of the hill. So that tree was somewhere over in this area. Now this is the craziest thing I could have ever seen, and when I realized what I'd found, I really had to make sure what I figured out. So this one right here, in 1880 they pretty much put out the track for the horse carriages, and then within 10 years they managed to put up all the electrical for the 35 miles of electric in 1890. So within 10 years. I mean, you want to talk about a huge waste of money. So let's continue on down the road of this, and to show you guys just absolutely the absurdity that they built. So there's another picture of Santa Fe. And then now you see all of these brick buildings in place. And back in the background back here, you could see the Congress Hotel. You can see it right there. And the Congress Hotel, I believe, was on 8th Street. So let's pull up the Congress Hotel so you guys can actually see it. Okay, so you can see the Congress Hotel right there, and here is the Congress Hotel. Supposedly it was built in 1890, I believe. And that's the thing, there's so many build dates on this that are within like 10 years of each other to build all of these massive stone buildings. And you can see these ones. These are all brick buildings. And the Congress Hotel right there. Let's pull up another picture of the Congress Hotel so you guys can see it. Oh, that's right. It was the Grand Hotel, and then it went to the Congress Hotel. So first, it was the Grand Hotel. And that's the other thing, is they renamed a lot of these buildings, and you have to like really pick this apart. So when you see that, you can understand what they're doing, that our history is hidden from us. Now here's another picture. This is the one that they like to take on 2nd and Santa Fe, and they point always over to this way, but this one is pointing on the backside, and you can see the Grand or Congress Hotel. I believe it is the Grand Hotel first, and then it changed into the Congress Hotel. And so you have to, after seeing just so much of this, you have to realize that there's no way they could have built this in the time frame that they did. And like I said, if you go into these maps, you can see everything in detail where all of this is, where the cottonwood tree was cut down, where 2nd and Santa Fe is, where the Sane Asylum is. And I'll go through the Sane Asylum. That'll be my next one to go through, is the Sane Asylum.